Leviathan Dawn issue 1 sees Steve Trevor imprisoned, where he is told by a white-haired man that Leviathan has been revealed by Lois Lane to be a man named Mark Shaw, meaning Steve isn't a lead suspect anymore. Steve is freed from his cell as the white-haired man reveals he knocked out the guards. Steve goes to attack the man, demanding to know his name, so the man reveals his name is Kingsley Jacobs, King for short, and he knows Leviathan destroyed Steve's life, so he wants to help free him so he can help fix it. Steve thinks that he is Leviathan, but King says he isn't, and if he was, he would have killed Steve long ago. King reassures the man that he is there to rescue him, but Leviathan is probably sending agents out to kill Steve, so they probably should leave. On top of all this, Clark Kent recently revealed to the world that he is Superman, which confuses Steve. King says that the world has shifted, but Steve is needed since with the Superman thing, now is the perfect time for Leviathan to strike. On Leviathan Island, Mark arrives and speaks to his men, telling them that while they didn't achieve their goal, the event worked and now the world knows that they are a force of nature. Mark does want to know what the hell happened to their event Leviathan, since he didn't want them to be stuck in a never-ending battle with the Superman and Luthors of the world. He demands to know how Waller got his tech and got one over on them. Dr. Netz reveals that she gave Waller the tech because she didn't want to be there. Leviathan kidnapped her and the others, but he won't be doing that anymore since after what he did to Metropolis, Lex Luthor will kill him first. Mark doesn't see it as kidnapping, and neither do many of the others, thinking Leviathan rescued them, but Netz thinks that they are all brainwashed, but Mark reminds her that he invited her to join him, since she is a brilliant and one-of-a-kind scientist. Mark activates his powers, killing Netz, much to the surprise of the other members. They soon get over it, and Guardian asks what's next, and Mark has heard them when they said the island was a success, so it's time they got to make a statement that shows that they aren't the bad guys, and he's got an idea regarding that. At Coast City, Lois Lane arrives at an airplane crash where one of Leviathan's ships reportedly fell from the sky. One of the responders says she called Lois since he didn't know what else to call, thanks to Leviathan taking out the DEO and other agencies, and they don't know who to trust, so when they saw that it was Leviathan, they thought of Lois Lane. Lois gets to work, asking what happened, as in Arkham Asylum, Steve is taken to see the body of Mr. Bones, who has been sedated after being admitted to the asylum. Steve knows the man is in anguish after losing his people and the DEO, and Bones soon says that he's been awake the entire time, wishing they had some stronger sedatives. Steve offers to take Bones from the asylum, as the DEO director really wants to have a few words with Mark Shaw, but the line starts behind Steve. Bones wonders if he has a plan, and Steve says there is, but first they need to find Green Arrow. Oliver Queen, meanwhile, is busy disrupting Leviathan operations, battling a group of Leviathan soldiers who quickly teleport away, but leave behind a piece of tech that the arriving Steve Trevor says could probably be watching him. Oliver wants to know what Steve is selling, revealing Mr. Bones is waiting nearby. Oliver knows that seeing the two working together is the most crazy thing he's seen in a long while, hoping that they are cooking up something not related to Leviathan, but Bones says that they used to be friends and they are going to capture them. Oliver joins them in the car and hopes it's more than the three of them going after Mark Shaw, and Steve mentions he just talked to Question, who meanwhile in Beijing is running down Leviathan soldiers, but like they did with Green Arrow, they managed to escape the hero, leaving behind a piece of tech. He wonders what they were stealing, but needs to escape quickly as the police arrive. At the Batcave, Kate Spencer awakens to find Damian Wayne working on the computers. He tells the waking hero that Mark Shaw has been revealed to be Leviathan. Kate wants to go find her son, but Damian reassures her he's fine, and he's on his way to her. Damian actually apologizes for accusing her of being the Manhunter who is Leviathan, saying that he was too focused on the Manhunter clues Leviathan left behind to see anything else. He says that he was wrong in front of Batman, which was punishment enough, but Kate tells him to stop, thanking him since being a lawyer, no one really apologizes to her, so it's nice to have it happen for once. Damian says that some of the media thinks that she still is Leviathan, probably thanks to the real Leviathan working the media and muddying the waters. Kate wants to know why Mark has it in for her, but Damian doesn't know, so she asks how Damian is doing, wondering what it's like to have Talia al Ghul as his mother. Damian says that she spent her entire life telling him that he was going to be the next Alexander the Great, but doesn't think that really ever affected him. Kate thinks that Damian grew up around Leviathan, but Damian says that Mark stole his family's business. Kate wants to take care of Mark once and for all, but Damien doesn't know where he is, since if he did, he would have done it himself. At Iron Heights, Steve has arrived to meet with Talia al Ghul, learning from the guards that since being dropped off by Superman, she's been quite mean to everyone. In her cell, Talia has taken down Killer Croc as Steve comes in, not looking for a fight. Talia doesn't want to deal with him, throwing her knife at him, but Steve catches it midair. She thinks that Ra's sent Steve, but he confirms he didn't, before Talia accuses him of being Leviathan, since if he is, she wants him to know that Leviathan is her bloodline, and she was preparing it for her son and will be taking it back. Steve tells her that she isn't getting back what she had, but they can do something Leviathan wouldn't see coming, and they won't be able to get back up from it. Giving her back her knife, Steve invites Talia to join his job. Talia says that she doesn't need help to kill Leviathan. She demands to know who sent him, and he reveals that King has put together a new iteration of Checkmate, made up of Lois, Oliver, Bones, Question, Manhunter, Steve, and now Talia. In their meeting, Lois tells King that she isn't part of the team since she's there as a reporter only, but King says that she's been part of this story since she was born thanks to her spymaster father Sam Lane, and he left something for her before he died. Lois remembers Sam mentioning the snowman's ticket and how it was all for her, as Oliver wants to know who King is, but Steve says he vouches for him. Talk soon turns to Talia being on the team, seeing as that she's a wanted killer. The team is shocked to learn that Talia is suddenly there, but she reminds them that she has trained as a ninja. Lois wants to know how she's not in prison, but King has more pressing matters, like Leviathan now just becoming a country, taking over Markovia. The team will react differently to the news as Steve asks if King knew this would happen, but he didn't, asking to be excused as he leaves. Lois wonders if they are seriously going to make her stay to find out who King is, but Steve says that she can do whatever she wants, but he vouches for King. Oliver shows the team a video that has just popped up of Mark Shaw, who says that the world is deeply broken and they didn't break it, so why should they have to live in it? He wants people to live in the world and they can, but he is Leviathan, and if people feel like they are Leviathan as well, then they are, and they don't have to be in Markovia to make a difference. As he sends out his ships from the country, Mark asks if they won't fix the world, then who will? Leviathan Dawn issue 1 continued DC's most useless event as more happens in this one shot than the previous 6-issue event Leviathan series. I say there is more going on, but what really is Bendis retreading his own work from that event Leviathan stories, using the exact same characters that made up Lois's detective team and just calling them Checkmate. So really nothing new actually happens apart from Leviathan copying what the X-Men are doing at the moment and becoming a nation who want to change the world and better the world since they think they are better than everyone else. The only thing that's keeping me interested in the book and this series is the characters involved. It's not your usual characters like the Justice League or Superman, which the events usually do. So when events like this come around that use kind of secondary or third tier characters, I always find it intriguing. But other than that, nothing of significant story or plot wise actually happens in this one shot, and I don't think will actually happen in the actual event Leviathan Checkmate series when that begins whenever. I'm going to give this issue a 2 out of 10.